All right, everybody, welcome back to Bush League Geek. This is Cody. Once again, I'm your host. Today, we're going to be talking about fall TV shows again, but this time we're going to touch into some of the comics. This week, we're going to focus mainly on DC. We might jump in a little bit of Marvel. Maybe if you're lucky, we'll see. First up is Arrow. Everybody here I know has seen the premiere of Arrow. What did you guys think of it?
Okay, Easter egg. Everyone got the Easter egg?
There's an Easter egg?
There's an Easter egg.
Is there an Easter egg? Let's do this.
Very cream egg Easter egg?
The jacket with Jordan on it. How?
Which jacket? Oh, did they? Who was wearing that?
It was the.
You've been playing on the internet, sir.
No, I noticed it, but I didn't connect it until I did play on the internet.
I know they always make. They make sure to say Coastal City.
Yeah,
as many times as possible.
They've mentioned, yeah. And what's the name of that? It's like Ferris.
The Air Force Base.
Whatever. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
I know they've mentioned that before. But who was wearing the Hal Jordan jacket?
Honestly,
see, look at this guy. He googled that.
I know. I remember seeing the jacket. I remember seeing the jacket and seeing Jordan. I didn't think about it until I actually did see it online.
That's awesome. I didn't think about that.
Who was wearing it?
He doesn't.
It was in the middle of the show. It was
I'm about to restart. I'm about to walk.
Well, no, because
what he needs to say is, "Man, I'm not sure. I just saw a picture of it on some."
No, because Chris was like
on a Jalopnik neat.
No, because Chris was like, "I think it's Diggle," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I didn't remember that till somebody said something.
Yeah, for those of you listening, if you don't know, what we're talking about Jordan. The name of the Green Lantern is Hal Jordan, so that's kind of like a nod.
And every nod means something.
Every nod means something.
I have been saying that since season 1, and everybody's like, "No, it doesn't mean anything." No, they don't nod to shit without it meaning something.
Did you guys catch, like, there was one episode where Detective Lance, he was like on the walkie, he was like, "This is Delta Charlie 52." I was like, DC 52.
You missed it.
What? Alright, we're just going to assume everybody listening, since you know this show's about the Arrowverse, that you're caught up, because we might spoil a few things. Do we want to talk about...
As Matt would say, we're going to spoil the shit
out of you. We're going to spoil the shit.
Yeah, we're going to spoil the shit out of you.
We're going to say it like Matt Damon in the Martian.
Let's work our way...
the shit out of this.
Yeah, we're going to work our way up to the ending.
Let me just say that the first season of Flash, to me, beat all 3 seasons of Arrow last year. But I will say that Arrow beat this week's premieres. And then on top of that...
You know what I'd like to add to that, though? Pun intended. They got a running start off of the Arrow.
That is true.
I'm going to say, don't you think like the crossovers helped out a lot?
Right.
Yeah, they did.
Like, they helped out a lot.
Yeah.
You're all buying into it. So. Well, we'll work our way to what I'm about to say.
Alright, so, the beginning. I don't know, I'm kind of surprised that, like, Ollie was so domesticated. You know what I mean? Like, I was figuring, like, all this stuff he's been through, like, all the cooking, like, suburban life, I was like, this dude's gonna be stir-crazy. I never would have thought it would have been Felicity. That's the one that's like, I can't handle this shit.
Exactly. It reminded me exactly of Red 2. Remember Red 2 with Bruce Willis and stuff? When he's trying to be all domesticated and she's wanting the adventure?
Yeah.
It was the dead on of that. Like, it's the chick that wants the crazy action and the dude that's been through it's like, hey, can't we just cuddle and watch a movie or something?
I will say they're pretty spot on though, with Felicity being a computer nerd and not being able to cook.
Yeah,
that in my experience.
Well, you know that scene was funny.
What was it, like 6 pancakes or omelets? Or
that scene was funny to me. He's like, Felicity, you failed this omelet, but like when you come in the kitchen, she's just sitting on it. She's sitting on the counter reading a magazine and barely like touching the omelet. I'm like, no shit, it's gonna be burned. Like, I don't know what you did.
Did you notice how many were burnt in the
Yeah, there was like 6 of them.
She's so hot. She's so hot. She could burn an omelet.
I will say this though, I can understand Oliver being just tired of it, because after everything he went through, especially in season 3, and what he put his closest friends through, then I can understand that he's ready just to live a normal life.
Maybe he's just tired of dying and never to be brought back.
That's a good call.
I do like it how they showed, what's her name? His sister.
Oh, Thea.
Thea.
Flipping out?
Like, flipping out and, like,
yeah, that was a good
wearing off on that dude.
Well, one problem I had with the problem I had with the whole Thea thing, when they brought her in that first action sequence, these dudes are trained military types, and they can't hit two people on a motorcycle.
I know.
It's not like they have a shield on the front of the motorcycle. She's just doing a little bit of maneuvering.
Yeah, I'm like,
hey,
Laurel's
man,
really not that
snake
good.
maneuver. You
Hey,
can't
and
shoot
it's not a bulletproof motorcycle. They don't have run flat tires. They don't, some of it's comic booky, but come on now, cover your bases.
Now, question: do you guys think that with the whole her flipping out and stuff, do you think that's just her wanting to be that type of person, or do you think that's the resurrection form of her?
It's the Lazarus pit.
That's the pit.
I think they're really trying to hint that there's going to be issues with that later on in the series. Because even when they brought her back last season, I was just like, they did a lot of build-up about how nobody comes back the same. And then Thea's perfectly fine. I'm like, there's got to be more to that. And I was just surprised that they didn't touch on it. But this season,
that makes it very interesting for Sarah whenever she gets.
Well, yeah.
You know who else came out of the Lazarus pit and went crazy? Jason Todd.
Yep.
He's
dead for a long time.
Boom.
I figured Chris would jump all over.
I'm saving that for when it comes.
Okay.
I will say though
that's an inside. I'm basically ribbing Chris for being all Jason Todd is Jason Todd is a Joker.
Man, how about Team Diggle though? What did you guys think about that?
I like this new getup.
I liked it.
The helmet. Now that I've seen the helmet in action, it's cheesier than ever.
Yeah,
I will say,
I like it.
Well, you see the part with like the little visor,
right?
Like I was like, oh, okay,
it's okay. My thing, like with him though, like it's like comic booky kind of thing, or it's like movie style. You've got these trained military guys, with automatic, semi-automatic weapons with 30-round clips, missing every shot. Diggle turns up. Yeah, Diggle does a turnaround
hitting him
backwards
with gun
under one shot. Yeah,
Right.
one shot, just bam, and then he's like, "Yeah, what's up?" It's like,
he's all wanted.
I know. Is it just me,
and curving
or is
around
anybody else like every time like Diggle's on the scene? Is anybody else like he just killed that guy? Like Diggle straight kills people. Right. Nobody says shit.
He's cold blooded about it too.
But like Oliver, it's like a big deal. But Diggle's like doing it left and right every time they get in the fight.
I will say though that I do like the fact that Laurel still looks like she's not. She's still not there. That fight inside the police office and stuff. How she was still getting her ass kind of beat a little bit.
No, I'm actually glad they did that because I don't buy that she progressed so much that she's just like the super total badass already. I like the fact that she gets beat around a little bit because it's like, okay, clearly you still need some training.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because if they had went straight into it like they did like everybody else, like Roy becoming a fucking Olympic level archer, like over the summer. Parkour! Choo-choo! Bullseye! Yeah, it just shows that
he
she's
did have
got a
that
lot
Oliver like draw down pretty good.
Yeah, he did. But do you remember when he first started, like he couldn't hit anything, and then they don't show him train at all, and he's going through all this shit.
Water.
He's not training. Then he goes in a coma after that damn Mirakuru, wakes up. They go get in that big fight in the tunnels. He's like, give me the bow and arrow. And all of a sudden, cat. Really? Like, where'd that come from? Like, you have not been training.
I will say with the whole Diggle team, I did like the fact that Diggle was trying to make it look like this isn't Oliver's team anymore. But I will say, I think it was kind of ridiculous how Laurel and Thea was. They went to go get Oliver, and then when Oliver comes in and tries to start giving them orders, they're just in there like,
yeah, like they don't listen.
Looking at
Diggle
like
yeah, that part was kind of forced.
Yeah,
but I will say, Diggle didn't come across like he was very. Diggle doesn't come off like a leader.
Yeah,
Diggle comes off like a good lieutenant or something like that.
Yeah.
like a second in command.
He just hands the orders.
Right, but he doesn't seem to give orders well or be listened to well. Where, when Oliver comes in there and says his orders, people are like, oh, that's my job now.
Yeah.
overall, I thought it was a great episode, and it leaves a lot of potential, not only in just Arrow, but also in Flash.
Well, like, I want to say, like, the dude playing Damien Dark, like,
Man,
I like that dude.
what?
Like, we were talking about in our chat.
Neil McDonough, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking
He's a
about
great actor.
in Justified. He was a great bad guy.
Oh, he
'Cause
plays
was-
his role.
Yeah,
great.
he always plays a really good, like, bad guy. And, like, this one,
He always plays a successful bad guy.
He always plays that overly cocky bad guy that has everything in the world to back it up with.
Yeah, it's like
But
when he
he's
played.
got
Do you
some-
guys remember the
but he's
Street
also
Fighter
got, like,
movie?
some smart-ass,
Street
like,
Fighter, he
humor.
did
He
too.
is Bison. Yeah, he's like the same character. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Which Street Fighter movie?
The
The
Chun Li
new one.
movie.
Uh-uh.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta check that out. But yeah,
Yes.
dude, Neil McDonough's awesome. I thought his character was really cool though. It was kind of that whole train scene. That was pretty awesome when he fired the arrows at him, and he's like, "No."
Yeah, I'm looking for a lot of explanation behind that.
Yeah,
mystical
me
stuff.
too. Because
Well, like,
it's
he's standing in
surprising.
front of the...
Well, I get that.
Well, see,
cabinet
my
thing
thing
and
is that gets me about this is because when they first started this show, it's like they were like, okay, this is going to be more of like a realistic show like Batman Begins. We're not going to do meta. And then I heard the Flash was coming. I was like, oh, well, you know, where's that whole meta thing? And then they were like, oh, we're not going to show that on the show. Flash is going to be off screen. Then, I mean, look where we are now. You know, dude's stopping arrows in midair because he's got mystical powers, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's just,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
didn't they touch on that? The difference between the meta and the
mystical.
mystical?
I mean,
Well, they just said that they don't know what it is, but Oliver said that he's no metahuman. That's something else.
Well, also, I kind of wonder how that's going to tie in with like race, because Ra's al Ghul would know of those mystical powers,
Exactly.
Even though he may chosen not to go that path.
Do you think Oliver will reach out to Malcolm to get that input?
I'm gonna be real. Honestly, at the end of that episode where that guy who, you know, he's standing in front of his altar doing that thing, and somebody walked in. At first, I thought it was gonna be Malcolm.
Yeah.
Like I was shocked that it was Lance, you know. But I probably understand why it was Lance. Like he probably just agreed to go along with this so nobody that, you know, else gets hurt, since the dude like wiped out half his police station. So I mean that makes sense. But
that's I was talking to somebody about that, the whole 6-month skip that they do at the end of the first episode, and you're just like, that seems kind of out of place.
yeah,
But I know they're really wanting to bring you in to make you interested in what's going to happen later.
You know something we were just talking about? How Diggle, Felicity, would have been Laurel.
what about Laurel?
Grab everything that
You
isn't
think-
folded down. I'll keep an eye out for Bowen.
Well,
Okay,
our
Dinklebot.
ghost wanted to chime in there.
Yeah,
Our Destiny
Dinklebot
Ghost.
was.
Oh,
That's all right. He's still Dinklebot.
We've talked
Go
about
up
it
north.
on our Facebook group chat for the Arrowverse about it possibly being Laurel, because he would still be very upset if it's Laurel, because that was his first love.
Okay, did they ever explicitly say her? Did
No.
they ever imply that it was a
That's the
female?
reason everything's just such a guess.
See,
I
that's
think it
what
would
I'm
be
trying to
Diggle.
figure out, because I know
Because they-
some people were saying
Because they
that-
hinted at Diggle in the beginning of the episode when Diggle's talking to his wife, because now Oliver's trying to make those right choices in becoming the Green Arrow, and she sat there and told him that, you know, if Oliver was making right choices, he wouldn't need you.
Could they have lit his face up anymore when he was announcing that he was the Green Arrow?
Right! That whole scene, I was like, I can tell you're Oliver Queen. Like, do something about
Nobody
this
else
video,
has
dude.
that.
It's
He
so
has such a
bright.
distinct face.
I am the Green. Was his voice even? Yeah, his voice is. Yeah, okay.
Everyone.
I mean, they were
It's
masking his voice, but he
Yeah.
has such a distinct, like he has a distinct smile and shit.
And the stubble.
And the stubble.
You got the stubble.
Everything, like.
I mean, it's not
What
like
do
you
you
wouldn't just see that and go, "Oh, that's Oliver Queen."
So what do you think about the new outfit?
I like the new outfit. It's very
Yeah.
New 52.
It looks more.
I
it
like
looks very tactical.
I like it
looks
a lot.
like
Yeah.
an
So
actual
you
suit.
It
prefer-
seems
you
more
prefer it
like
over
something an archer would wear.
So you prefer it over the other one, like
Yeah.
the jacket and stuff like
Yeah.
that you...
Yeah, because it looked like he
did.
didn't have any really anything to protect him if something hit him. Now he has like some sort of armor and.
Oh, so you think by covering less of his body, you feel like he's more.
Well, I'm just saying,
Or just
like,
his
well, I'm
torso,
just saying,
just his torso.
I'm just saying, look at the look of his material. Actually, looks like he could actually withstand some damage
Right.
instead of. Oh, I got a hoodie on. So.
You'll do some damage.
Yeah, man. All right, so you're thinking it's maybe Diggle.
Now,
Actually, I'm
okay,
not
I
because
don't
I don't think he would cry with Diggle. I'm sorry, maybe it's just me.
I think he
don't,
would.
I don't think he would cry if it was Diggle.
I think
I don't think it's part of the team.
You don't think so?
I think Barry would have been there if it was part of the team.
See, and that's another thing. See, my first thought was because the episode ends with him and Felicity, and they're happy, and I literally said, I was like, oh, she's gonna die. And then the very next scene is, he's at the grave and he's all sad, and Barry shows up.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Now,
does it matter that Barry's there?
Well, see, first of all, Barry he's not really close, as
Barry
far
was
as
close to
I
Felicity,
know.
though.
He was close
He
to
would have been
Felicity.
there.
He would have been more upset. If
Yeah,
it was
that's
Felicity.
that's what I was thinking, because at first I was like, oh, it's Felicity, but then I was like, Barry probably would have been more upset if it was her.
He would want vengeance.
Yeah.
About it. He would try to go after.
So I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it could be like
I think it's gonna be Lance.
I think it's gonna be Laurel.
I don't think it'll be Laurel. They can't.
I think it'll be
go that
Laurel's
route.
dad.
Yeah,
I
it could
still- I don't
be.
I think it's gonna go wrong. I think it's gonna go wrong because he made that deal, and I think it will turn around that it's maybe the Arrow's fault that he dies, and Laurel's blaming him or something like that, and that's why he's sad.
I just
about
think
it.
it's.
I will say that I saw a preview for like the next week's episode or whatever, and it shows Lance talking to the bad guy and very pissed off and saying that he's done.
Maybe
That
I'm
he's doing
focused
this
on the
thing.
wrong thing, but like, I mean,
I just don't
yeah,
think it's part of the team because I think Barry would have been there.
we've been to funerals and stuff before. Unless it's someone close to me, I mean, I wouldn't have shed a tear. That's the shedding the tear, like the crying part of it, makes me think it's someone that was close to him.
Yeah, but if you think about
Maybe
it,
I'm focusing too much on that, but I mean, it
I
just
think
seems
it's
like
I think it's more of a guilt thing.
Yeah,
than it
but
is-
you think it's more of a
but
guilt
you also
thing?
got to think Lance has been part of Oliver's life.
Yeah, but they've always
they're out.
hated each other.
They haven't. Well, Lance has always hated Oliver. Oliver never really hated Lance. That's just my opinion, because to me, Lance has become, I wouldn't say a father figure for Oliver, but he's always given him some good advice, even though Oliver's never wanted it. Especially in this last episode where they're in the train station.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I just lost my train of thought.
I don't know.
In the train thing where he was getting the advice.
Over
I
there.
honestly kept expecting him to put that ring on the tombstone.
That's what. Okay, that focus on that
Yeah.
left corner,
I was
and
like,
with
here
just
it comes.
showing his face, and you're just like they pan that perfect to where that's all you were thinking about. You're just waiting on him to put that ring.
It's
up. I'm
his
like,
mom.
you asshole.
His mom. Oh, but another thing I was thinking about was the burial site. I was like, well, first of all, I don't think they can do Laurel because they've done the whole Black Canary dies thing. I'm not gonna sit
But
through
if it
that.
was Diggle, wouldn't it
tolerate
be a military?
I don't know about that. Not necessarily. But, like, if it had been... Some people thought it would be Thea, and I was like,
Well,
I don't think that's where they
Diggle's not
buried
military.
Thea.
Diggle was military.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
they
was.
didn't show the burial.
Well, he would get a
burial.
salute.
They just
you
showed
know, like
him
a
standing
military... He'd get a
Yeah, but he would get a
military
different
funeral,
headstone,
but...
wouldn't
It just depends on what the family buys. Yeah.
And was it a fresh grave?
Yeah, it was fresh. Like,
Okay.
they just... Yeah. But I was trying to see, like, the location of it. I don't think that's where they would have buried Thea. So I don't think it's her.
No. I do like it where Barry's like, is there anything to do? Be left alone.
Unless it's
Barry's
Roy.
like,
Which,
see ya, you know.
I can't help but wonder if they're going to bring Roy back somehow.
Shit. I don't know.
By the
That's
way,
a
have
good
you seen his
question.
new little commercial with the little phone app game?
Uh-uh.
Where he's in the subway? Yeah, he's doing like this little battle with this like little gym thing, and it's for a phone app game. Yeah, that's his new thing.
Has he fallen so far?
Yeah, he's promoting phone apps now.
Cool story, bro. Cool
Whatever
story.
it is.
No, I'm thinking, I don't know.
You go from the Arrow to phone apps. I mean, come on.
I don't know. Well, Flash or Diggle, Felicity or Diggle, I'm going to stick to that.
All right, so
The Flash.
how do you feel the Flash compared to the Arrows?
Premiere? Honestly,
Arrow killed
yeah, I'm thinking I might have liked Arrow better.
Yeah.
Because when I watched Flash first, and I watched it, and I was just like, that's okay. You know, like, it wasn't like it didn't really grab me like, oh shit, you know, like anything like that. It was good though. I liked it, but it was like, it's another episode. You know
I
what I mean?
expected them to conclude the
Singularity.
portal thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They really
See,
just
that's
brushed
what-
it off like,
that's
oh,
exactly
it's
what I
just
was about
another
to say, like-
it's just another thing we closed. It's
Like,
fine.
don't get me
Kind of like in
wrong.
the Avengers, like all that stuff happened. They're like, yeah, it kind of happened.
Well, you know, because you saw Iron Man fly into it with a nuke. this and that, fell down, took out the
You saw him
mothership.
jumping into it to...
Oh yeah,
Right.
it was kind of like the same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like, destroy the mothership, everything else is fine. Everything else is kosher, it's good.
Yeah, my problem was with it is like I was hoping that was the way it was going to start, was the conclusion, but instead it was 6 months later. Barry's,
depressed.
Traumatized, essentially.
trying to split the team, and then they just show you what happened in kind of like a flashback.
Yeah.
Which I will say that was a major point inside that episode. Just seeing.
Did anybody else think that was like in a way kind of forced? Because he's all upset. Like, of course, they skip forward to where everything's fixed, and you see Barry's all upset and depressed.
Fixing
I
the
was
city.
expecting something a little like worse. Like he's acting like it's literally his fault. Like all these people died. Roy, it was freaking not Roy, but what's his name? Ronnie. Ronnie died like helping him, and that's why he's so depressed that he just closes everybody out. Because Ronnie flew up there as Firestorm and didn't make it back. Did anybody think that
What
really
bothers-
like
what
strong
bothers
enough
me
reason to
is
be
you
like
never
that?
saw Ronnie's body anywhere.
You never saw it. You never saw it.
So it's like they separated, and one of them went to one side of it, of the
Yeah.
singularity, and the other came to
and
this
see,
side.
that's
But-
what I'm hoping happened. Because
but
I
didn't
hope
they-
they don't replace that actor.
Yeah, there was. I think it was on comicbook.com. They said something like, "It's gonna be a black dude.
See,
It's
I
gonna be a
don't
black
know.
dude Firestorm."
I don't know how they're gonna do
They
this.
can't do that because the Legends of Tomorrow shows.
That's
Robbie
right. He is.
Well, that's what I was
gonna
going to
be
say.
on
Does
there.
Legend of Tomorrow actually
Okay.
show Firestorm?
I mean, that's what they. Yeah, because you have Firestorm, Palmer, Sarah, and
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to play the Palmer thing.
Me too.
'Cause that dude straight up blew up.
Well, I'm
But
thinking
did
what
he go
happened.
into his atomic state?
Yeah, I'm thinking what happened was he shrunk down, and just everybody thinks he's dead, and maybe I don't know. Maybe he hasn't found a way to grow back to regular size yet, or something. I don't know.
So kind of like the
Palmer.
kind of like the Ant-Man.
Like
scene.
Ant-Man, just
Palmer.
like Ant-Man.
Who
He went
was Palmer?
subatomic.
the billionaire that left Felicity the company.
Oh yeah, okay.
God, come on, dude! Didn't you
Catch
just
up.
binge
you not read
watch
that on
all
the
this?
internet?
Yes, I just binge watch all of it.
God, man.
I've crammed so many shows in my head trying to keep up with you guys. This is hard.
Yeah, the
It
Flash.
hurts.
The Flash, I feel, could have been a lot more action and a lot less drama.
Yeah, it was too drama for me.
Right,
Like
like Arrow's generally the one you go to for the
Yeah,
drama.
but he was just so
It was
he
too
just,
emotional.
He was too emo for me, man.
Yes.
And I just did not really see the reason why he should have been like that. He's like, "Oh man, I'm worthless.
I didn't like the
I
bad-
can't do anything
I didn't
right."
like the bad guy.
I will say,
yeah, that bad guy was kind of cheesy.
That bad guy was really cheesy.
Well,
And-
I don't think he was meant to be anything special. It was just he was a pawn being used by Professor Zoom, which I don't know if we're actually going to see. I'm kind of confused on that too because I thought Eobard Thawne was known as Professor Zoom, so I don't know.
but see,
Like,
now
it's
that
a
Jay
different
Garrick's
version
here,
of it.
now Jay Garrick's here because Eobard Thawne shows back up, but I believe it's Earth 2's Eobard Thawne, which is Zoom instead of Reverse Flash.
Well, it
Now
would be
that
a
Jay
different
Garrick
name.
shows up at the end of
Oh,
it,
I forgot his
very
name.
possible.
That's like we were talking about. You know,
Because
like
there's like
Arrow
three
had
Zooms.
Arrow had his little costume change, and Flash had his little costume
Yeah,
change.
he got the insignia.
But it's just the insignia, and everyone's like, "What do you think about it?" It's like, you got an insignia.
It's so
dude.
bright.
Like,
It's like the future.
I will
what else
say,
did you do?
I will say this though: was anyone else really kind of upset by the video that Eobard Thawne left Barry? I was hoping there would be some more stuff about the future, about what happens in the crisis, why has this crisis happened?
Oh,
Like,
like why he hates him, maybe?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wanted there to be more explanation on because Barry's has that newspaper, but it doesn't tell him anything about what's going to happen in the future. And I was hoping Eobard Thawne was going to lead up to that in the chat,
He
and all it
technically
was
still
was
has the computer.
Oh yeah, he does
Yeah.
have all that. And actually, yeah, it listens to Barry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Barry created
He
it in
created,
the future or something like that.
That's a good point. I didn't think of
I
it that
forgot
way.
all about
I did
that.
I was watching, and all it was like, I'm not going to get into that, but I am going to give you what you want.
Well, I know that they are supposed to be bringing back the actor that played Wells, and I'm hoping they bring him back as Professor Wells instead of because I don't know how he's going to be some alternate world for Professor Zoom or whatever when it's impossible. Now, because that would be a paradox, because when Eddie killed himself, that wiped out all the futures on that timeline. So then that would mean that
he would have to be actual. He would actually have to be Wells.
Yeah, but it's weird because it's like a paradox.
Why would Wells want to kill Barry?
They haven't touched on any of that, and like I'm kind of disappointed they hadn't said something to kind of regulate that.
Other than
because
just
if
the
Eddie,
name,
because well, I'm saying if Eddie kills himself, and then Eobard Thawne disappeared, that means that he was never born. He never went back in time to kill Wells, take his spot, all that stuff, and so on and so on. It's like, I wish they would have just touched on it just a little bit. Like, hey, maybe the reason why this and that is because something with the singularity. Like, there was nothing. It was just like,
showed up and Zoom was missing.
This is impossible, but here we are. We're not going to say anything about it.
You know what I felt like I needed a little more explanation of? Cisco's visions.
Yes.
They didn't touch on that at all.
They started to a little bit because he did have that vision, this episode. But from what I've read, I think he's a character called Vibe, and it's kind of what is his power? It's something to do with vibrations of some shit. I don't know.
Actually,
whatever. Kind of like Sky or Daisy.
Speaking of all the other characters and stuff, now that we've talked about it, oh crap, what's the girl's name?
I don't know. Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, not Cisco, but the girl. Caitlin. Her becoming Killer Frost this season, I was hoping there'd be more vengeance behind her eyes rather than just sadness.
I'm curious about that too, because I know she's supposed to become Frost because Barry had those visions at the when he was going through the Speed Force, which I also heard they're going to touch on this season.
And I'm thinking her too.
I'm actually thinking that next week's episode with Jay Garrick, that's where he's going to start telling about the Speed Force.
I think.
But Caitlin, I expected her to already be like really pissed about Ronnie. I was like, oh, this is why she's going to be Frost. But she seems just as good as ever.
But now she could be. Now that conclusion could be her being Killer Frost in Earth 2.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be an alternate version because obviously people from other universes leaked through. So is there going to be two of them, maybe, or maybe actually since Ronnie disappeared, I don't know. Maybe he's on the other side of the vortex and will at some point get to view the other world. Maybe. I don't know.
I think there's going to be, in the next couple episodes, I think Flash is going to open up and it's going to be interesting to see Flash.
Now after we just got done talking about and stuff, granted Arrow is a better episode, I will say, after talking about it, I have a lot more questions about Flash than I do with Arrow.
Yeah.
Because Arrow, my main question is just who's going to die and physical powers. Now, with Flash, it's like, oh my god, you got so much stuff.
That's the thing about Arrow. I mean, Flash, you're just like, mind blown. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around paradoxes and stuff. I just can't do it. Whatever. But overall, it was a pretty good episode. I liked it.
It's going to be an interesting season.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Now, do you think they're ever going to tie that world in with Gotham? Or would it even be possible at this point because they're different timelines?
That's a nice segue, by the way.
I'm just saying.
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I don't think. I mean, it could be the same universe.
And
really,
let me throw out that Gotham confuses me.
What time frame is Gotham?
See,
that's
me too, because it's like it's in the 80s, but they have like technology from today. I thought about that too, and I was like, it's just timeless, so nobody can really place it anymore.
I honestly don't think that they would combine those two television universes, all because of, if that was the case, Bruce Wayne, the age he is right now, would be the youngest Batman ever. And whenever he does become Batman, Oliver Queen would be fucking 60 years old.
Here's a question that I have. We talk about like Minority Report last week and stuff like that. Like those shows on Fox, not ever doing so hot. Like not lasting that long because I don't know. Fox tends to just fuck things up.
I'm still pissed about Almost Human.
Yeah. Okay, but like Gotham has potential to run for a few seasons.
It does. Now, when they
do you think they're gonna somehow fuck it up to where it's going to cut short?
I don't know, because when they first started talking about doing this show, they said that it was going to run until Bruce Wayne became Batman. And then that's where the series was going to end. Which, obviously, they're going to have to do some time skips on that.
Even if Fox fucks it up and lets go of it and stuff like that, someone will try to pick it up.
Somebody probably
I was actually
would.
really shocked to hear that Fox was doing it. I thought CW was doing
Yeah, I'm just going to be honest. Like, you know, the first season, like, of course I wanted to watch it because it's Gotham. I was like, okay, this is going to be all about Jim Gordon. I was like, that's an interesting take. I'd love to see it because Gordon's awesome. Then, you know, they started bringing all these characters in. I was like, all right, cool, this is going somewhere. And I actually liked the kid as Bruce Wayne. But there was something, I don't know, the first season, to me, it was just okay. Like, I liked it, I would watch it, but it was like, it was just something I was watching. It wasn't like, oh man, I gotta watch Gotham this week.
There's two things about it, because I caught it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things about it. One, it kept throwing me off, because, like, you know, every time I hear the Penguin, I think of Danny DeVito Penguin.
Oh.
You know, and stuff like that. So I had to adjust, like, who these people were.
Well,
but I liked the part of it as far as showing how they got to where they were.
Yeah.
And it's not just
like
Gordon
that.
doing it, but it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all of them kind of getting where they were.
And I really like what they've done with the Penguin.
But I'm
I mean,
with
he
you,
is like a notorious gangster. You know what I'm saying? And it's nice to see how he comes up and all that. But yeah,
He's
like
a
I said,
shifty little bastard.
yeah, first season was okay. The episode where they were like introducing the Joker. At first, I was kind of like,
Okay.
I don't know how that's gonna go.
Because there's been some talks about that.
Yeah. Let's work our way to that.
Well, okay, here's the talk about that, because they introduced the kid as supposedly as the Joker is how they introduced him.
Well, see,
Or
I
they
had
made
my
everybody
doubts
believe it.
because I was
Because
watching
of the
that
laugh and
episode.
everything.
Yeah, but people wasn't happy with that because the Joker has no backstory.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. His origin. So to me, I was like, I don't know if this is actually the Joker, because this is a weird origin for him. You know, grew up in the circus. Like, honestly, we know too much about him.
Why not? But
I was
why,
like, we
why is
should
that a
know all
bad
this.
thing, though? I never understood why that's a bad
Well,
thing.
it could work. It could work with him growing up in the circus and all that. It'd be fine. But see, the Joker is so mentally deranged that he honestly doesn't know what his backstory is. Because, like, every time, like, they even touched on it in The Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. You know how Heath Ledger, every time he talks about his scars, he's like, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Well, the Joker, and I can't remember what comic it is, but at one point he says that when he talks about his past, he prefers it to be multiple choice. Because he honestly doesn't remember exactly which story is his, so it's something different every time.
Well, shit, bro. If your mom was a circus clown whore, wouldn't you try to force that out of your mom?
But see, yeah, and see,
Language.
and,
but see, that's how they put her on the show. She slept around with everybody.
yeah, and he was very vocal about it.
Yeah.
And, it was, I don't know, I was like, okay, that scene where he starts to laugh and stuff, I was like, okay, that's cool. It could work. But I was like, I don't know if that's really him. I wasn't sure. And then, you know, they end that season. This season Jesus. Like,
This season started with just
season started off so great.
out the chute. Just
Like, I actually look forward to watching this show every week now. The whole Maniacs thing was like the best thing they could have done in that show. That episode with the Joker, and I'm doing air quotations here, when he's playing Russian roulette, that was the Joker.
and he was like a leader, blah 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 blah. Click.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, and
Yeah, he's like, what's the secret to comedy? Good timing. Click.
Yeah.
I will say that I am going to catch up to Gotham, all because I forgot that all the advertising for Gotham Season 2 was just titled "The Villains Are Coming."
See, you know, and I'm really sorry that you haven't caught up. Because this
you're
is
not about to like this.
This is a spoiler show, and we're doing that.
That's fine.
Okay, so I was like I said, I was skeptical about the whole Joker thing. And I was like, I don't know. But then this kid, fucking amazing. Like, he's the Joker, okay? He has the mannerisms down, his laughs, everything he does.
The evil look.
Like, the evil looks. Every single thing about him. Russian roulette scene, especially, I'm going to bring that up multiple times when I talk about it, because that was the definition of who the Joker is. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch that scene. But anyway, we're going to get into it. This past week... So
Did
this
you just
past
get prepared to talk about
week,
something?
I just got prepared.
Just relax a little bit.
No, because you
You've caught it.
I think it's
Oh,
just
what?
me and him that's
Are we
watching
the only
Gotham.
one
Right?
Gotham?
Yeah.
No, he watches it, right?
You're caught up on
I'm
it?
not caught up at all.
Oh, shit.
Spoil
I'm sorry,
it. I don't care.
Spoil it! Okay, so this kid,
So excited.
this week, I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but the reason why it's important that we talk about it in this show is because... Okay, so...
Did you just do a Chris thing?
I did. No, that was a Kevin thing. I just... mumble.
Words.
They killed him. They killed him off this past week.
Who?
They killed
The
the
Joker.
kid.
They
The
killed the
Joker. So
Damn.
Okay, so hold on.
I told you I was about to spoil it, man. You
there's
said
the-
do
okay,
it.
so there's
Well,
the
obviously
dude.
he's not dead.
This dude. No, well, hold on now. This dude brought together the Maniacs, and the Joker at the time. Well, this kid. We keep calling him the Joker. Jerome. He gets stabbed in the neck by this dude. Okay, and he says you took it too far, and it literally like it's a punk. He's bleeding out. And
It's
he's sitting
the
there
jugular.
smiling.
It's
Yeah,
the
like
jugular, yeah.
it's the kill shot. And he's sitting there smiling, blood pouring out of his mouth and everything, and he's dead. Like he's dead. Like there's no.
I was like, oh, he's not dead.
Well, I mean, the original
I was like,
Joker
there's
does
no he's
die,
dead.
but yeah.
But
Well, and this is something that and here's another spoiler alert for you guys. They kept televising everything that the Joker did, or that Jerome did. It televised the police thing, televised what he was doing with the magician thing.
well, do you remember his dad?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to. There's this one scene where he's talking to his dad, who's like a fortune teller, and he's like, "Tell me my future," and he's like, "You're gonna plague this city. Your legacy is gonna be death. You're gonna spread chaos and madness everywhere." And when I was watching, I was like, "That's so true."
That's the Joker, though, right? Like
That's the Joker. But see, the thing is, everything this kid did was televised. So it's like he inspired other villains. So when they broadcast his whole death and this whole last thing and all that, they show all these criminals across the city.
they show
These psycho people, yeah.
They
And
show people at some point.
they showed, like, remember that one kid that was watching TV?
Yeah, and he
And
gets
I was
that,
like,
that.
he
gets
gets that
evil
look.
grin. And
I was like, that could have been the real Joker. But all these people they show watching it just start maniacally laughing and like losing their shit for just because they're fucking psycho, I guess, you know. And they just start doing bad shit. Like this one, a couple of people start killing.
yeah, the end, the way Gotham ends in the episode is, I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Porky.
They kill.
Dip.
They kill this dude and they're high fiving, and one of the kids stabs his friend that just helped him kill this
Yeah.
guy, and he's sitting there laughing while he's just jabbing him in the ribs with this knife, still like high fiving him, and like you hear that evil laugh, like it.
Yeah,
This
and I
is a
was like,
Fox show?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like Gotham has gotten so edgy this season, but it's so good. I don't know how well they'll do. I don't
You're
know.
crazy.
Maybe. I don't know. Might have a touch of that in there. But I don't know, man. But I like the way they did that because him inspiring other Jokers, it kind of makes more sense to me because this way we will get the Joker eventually that we don't know his background. Like, we don't know anything about this guy.
Again, watching Gotham, I'm thinking of like the Dark Knight Joker, where he just wanted everyone to understand the world the way he did.
He's the anarchist.
Anarchist, chaos, all that other stuff. Well, it happened, but he died for it to happen. So, yeah, Gotham's really thrown. Oh, and like I showed you no, they've thrown a lot of weird stuff in there. It's weird, but like they had this one chick. She's got this case with her sniper rifle in it. Well, someone had pointed out on the internet that if you look at the case close enough, the wood looks like an owl. So they're talking about bringing out the
Court of Owls.
The Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's later in New 52.
Well,
Speculation.
actually, the Court of Owls.
I mean, I'm
It's
assuming
supposed to be
it's
like-
been around for a
Yeah,
while.
it's supposed to be like
in the comic books.
yeah, but it's
Right.
supposed to be like this underground organization that's been around for like since Gotham was founded, I think. So I don't know. I don't know. I didn't actually catch that owl reference. I'm pretty interested with it.
I honestly didn't think
'Cause
about it
love
because
that
I was like,
whole,
oh, it's just a
I
wood.
love that.
It's just a wood case that
Art.
holds a sniper rifle, whatever. And then someone was like, "Oh, hey, look closer at it," and it literally does show. Two
And it was the
allies
one
and-
that girl, the black chick, was
yeah,
using?
the black chick.
So does that mean that maybe members of the court out? Because I know it's like it's normally like rich, like high society people that are members of it.
Well, you know how he kind of, the guy that brought the Maniacs together, he kind of acts kind of uppity and proper and...
Oh man, that's got me curious now. I wonder if they show like him having like an owl mask or something later on. Because he could
I still
be
can't
like
get over the lesbianness between... Who is she? Who is she?
Barbara?
Who is Barbara?
I don't know where they're going with her.
I've been asking that since I watched the very first episode of Gotham.
Well, when I first started watching Gotham and Barbara was Jim's fiance, well, we know his daughter's name is Barbara because she becomes Batgirl or whatever. My speculation was, oh well, this is gonna be his wife or his fiance, whatever. She's gonna get killed. He's gonna get with somebody else and name the daughter after her. But they've just gone a completely different route with her. Like, she's like Harley Quinn level right now.
Exactly, but she has no tie to Harley Quinn. The stories that everyone knows
They just
about
did a
that,
180 with her. It's kind of like they were just like, hey, this character needs to be more interesting. What can we do with her?
I never when I saw, where Gordon lives and his wife and how she's like an art designer, a very successful one from apparently where they live. I'm like, a cop can't afford
She's
a place
got
like
family
that.
money.
I'm about to say, I've never known her to be successful.
Till she killed him.
Till she killed him. But yeah, Gotham has become one of those shows where I'm watching it that
I'm about
night.
to start watching that for reals.
What, Gotham?
You know what you need to watch for reals?
Here it is. Segue.
Turbo Kid.
Let's talk about that. Matt watched Turbo Kid today, which is
I'm just gonna stick
a
to
new
being the
cult
movie
classic,
guy.
I believe.
Yeah, and that is the new cult classic. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna watch that 10 more times just this week. So, okay, Turbo Kid. For those that don't know what it is a it's a post-apocalyptic movie set in 1997, which is odd because most of these things that you see are made in the future. But it is very much a touch to 80s and 90s action / gore / comedy movies. It's I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, it follows this kid who's been left to his own in this wasteland, and he's surviving. And this and that, he collects as much as he can. One of his favorite things to collect is this comic book called like Turbo Man or something. And
like Arnold Schwarzenegger Turbo Man?
Close, actually.
It's Turbo time.
Dude, that's my favorite Christmas movie. I'm not gonna lie, I love Turbo.
I'm gonna dress as that.
Oh, what movie was that?
Halloween.
All the Jingle All the Way.
Jingle all the way.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the last thing that anybody remembers Sinbad in.
Ta-ta, Turtle Man.
Oh, he was awesome in that movie too, man. I'll tell you, I love that. But yeah, let's get back to it.
So I will say, if I had to rate this movie out of 5 stars, out of 10 stars, it's going to get all of them every time. I don't give a damn what ranking you want to put on it. It's all of them. It gets all the stars. Because this is something that is just... I was just telling everybody right before we started this, I was enthralled. Like, I started it, and so I downloaded it from a reliable source. And... a reputable source. How about that? I paid for it. Because I paid for my internet. Anyways.
That counts.
So I got a copy of the movie, and I sat down and I watched it, and it was one of those things where I was just checking to see what the quality of it was and how it kind of started off, and it caught me instantly. I mean, I sat there the entire movie. What was so bad is I had just turned on the PlayStation. I was going to get on Destiny and play with everybody. I saw that some people were on. I was like, I'll go check the quality of this movie real quick. And I sat there for about half the movie before I realized I was still holding the controller.
That's awesome.
So is it train wreck status? Like,
No. It's
awesome.
just
Epic. That's what it sounds
see.
like.
Okay, so if you like,
well, like you know how like a train, you just can't look away. Like it's bad, but you just gotta keep.
I've never heard that
Okay,
term.
like,
train
so, like,
wreck.
if you
I don't know how
watch-
People
people
talk
say
about
that.
Napoleon Dynamite, like so horrible of a film, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
It's kind of like an action adventure movie version of Napoleon Dynamite. It's one of those like it's that bad, that good. It's so well done.
I know exactly what you mean, because I love movies like that.
Okay, so for anybody that saw
I
the
like bad movies sometimes.
what was that little 30-minute movie that was on YouTube?
Dang it,
Kung Fury.
Kung Fury.
Kung
That's
Fury.
it.
If you
I
like
was gonna
Kung
mention that.
Fury, you will absolutely love this movie. I'm gonna go find.
I loved Kung
I don't
Fury,
see.
man. I
But
love
Kung
campy
Fury
movies
watching
like
it
that.
for an hour and a
Oh,
half?
it's so it's better.
It's
than
kind of
Kung
like that
Fury.
movie. Have you guys ever seen House 2? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, we'll touch on that another time. But anyway, it's like the same type, man. Yeah.
Like it, you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of like if you took like an old '80s movie, like the original Mad Max or like the Road Warrior, and mixed it with like Kill Bill. You know, where like she chops off chicks' arms and it just starts gushing blood, and like
I love that.
it's like Quentin Tarantino probably owns this movie. Like he probably went out and bought this
Some way.
movie. So.
the right way.
unlike some people.
Hey, now that I've
some
seen
people.
the quality of the product, I will go purchase it. I will have a hard copy of this movie. Yeah, you hold me to that. Next time you walk in this house, if I can find it on Blu-ray, I will own it.
Released the 5th.
Oh, what?
It released on the 5th.
Well, there you go.
Boom, there it is. Amazon. tell Alexa, isn't that her name?
And I will
Like,
say,
Alexa, order me
I have a new
Turbo Kid.
crush now because of this movie. So the female, kind of a lead character in this, Apple, is played by a French-Canadian actress by the name of Laurence LeBoeuf. And if you have not seen her, look her up because she does a fantastic job in this movie. Let me just say, it's one of those movies that not only are you enthralled by, but you have like a stupid kid grin on your face by the end of it. And what's so funny is like it takes itself so seriously, and it has actors like what was his name? Ironside, dude from like the first Total Recall.
Michael Ironside?
Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
He plays a really good bad guy, and the two people that kind of play the protagonists in this, Monroe Chambers and Lawrence LeBoeuf, the two good guys in this, and then the cowboy Aaron Jeffrey as Frederick. Everybody does such phenomenal jobs being so serious and so on point. But the best part about this movie is it's this little sandbox area, post-apocalyptic thing. There's maybe 10 main characters and like 100 extras. They probably gave $100 a day to just like stand around kind of thing. And they do such a really good movie at they do a really good job at making such a complete movie with so few characters that you don't even think about it until the end of it. And you're like, oh, the credits are probably like 10 lines. It's probably like there's probably more production crew than there were actors in this. But everyone, to get anywhere, no matter how serious it is, how goofy it is, everyone rides a bicycle. I'm talking like
Really?
the cowboy gets on a bicycle. Everyone rides a BMX everywhere.
So Michael Ironside being like the
pegs.
bad guy, does he have like a?
They don't actually show him on a bike at any point.
He didn't have like a souped up bike like Mad
I was
Max
kind of
style
hoping
thing,
he
or-
would. I was hoping he would have like
got
some
pegs.
blinged out thing.
It's got pegs.
But that's what's funny is like the kid gets pegs in the movie, and he meets this girl, and he's like, I only have one bike. And this guy this vendor that he just went to gave him some pegs, and she kind of points at the pegs, and she's like, so he has to put the pegs on and ride her around. But all I can say is I highly recommend this movie. Go watch it. You will grin stupidly from ear to ear, and if you don't listen to us.
May I also add too that every time I have a movie or TV show crush, she's from Canada.
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 She's from Canada.
Sometimes I like to say Canada. I don't know why. In my head, I'm like Canada.
Oh, Canada.
But Canada.
Canada.
Canada. So
Canada
yeah.
is taking over the airwaves.
It's what it's
Right.
about.
Players.
Hey, Arrow and
TV.
Flash. If it wasn't for Canada, we wouldn't
They're,
have either one
aren't
of
they
those.
filmed in Canada? I
Isn't
think
Felicity?
they are. Yeah.
Isn't Felicity Canadian?
Felicity's Canadian.
Yeah, Stephen Amell's Canadian.
Yup.
Like half that cast is Canadian.
All the main
and they film in
cosplayers out there,
Vancouver. Yeah.
Canadian.
Well,
It's what it's about.
yeah.
So I think,
that's
on
what
our,
it's
I think on
about.
our next show we're going to have to
Need
open
to
up
go
with
up there,
Canada.
Oh, Canada. Oui, yeah.
They probably wouldn't appreciate that.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this week's show. We got some raiding to do on Destiny. You guys should play.
Or just
Awesome.
or just watch us. We're probably
just
going to try to
watch
stream
us.
it. We're going to try to stream it for the first time ever.
What?
We're technically savvy.
Yes.
We got this.
What he said.
Kinda.
No
Ish.
about
No
it.
ish.
If we can't figure out how to stream something in this house,
I know, right?
we have failed
We
this city.
The house that Halo built.
The house that Halo built.
It's kind of like, okay, it's
You
like
got 2 network engineers in the house.
it's like Vin Diesel in the first Fast and Furious. If you can't find the tool you need here, you shouldn't be working on a car.
Yeah.
All
When you
right.
said bring HDMIs, I was like, shouldn't you have like 50 of them?
I do, but I
Hey,
don't
just
feel
in
like I hook
case, man, you gotta bring extras. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap. Like I said, second time. So until
Wrap it-
next
wrap it
time,
twice.
you guys. Hey, also, if there's some stuff you guys want to hear us talk about, or if you have any comments or anything, leave them in the comments. Write to us, message us, do something, reach out to us.
On the
We'd
Twitter.
really love to hear from you, and any ideas, suggestions, it'd be awesome.
I have an
Get
idea.
some insight.
I have an idea. Everyone should watch Turbo Kid.
And everybody watch Turbo Kid, and you let us know what you thought about it, and you give Matt, your 2 cents. So,
Please do.
anyways, we're out of here. So until
Peace.
next time,
Hashtag Bush League Geek.